When I was 7, I woke up in the middle of the night with an earache. I decided to tell my mom and stepdad and walked out of my room. Someone was sitting on the chair in the living room, about 3 feet away from my bedroom door. The person looked strange. The face was kind of distorted, but it was dark and I couldn't see well. "Mom?" I asked. The person shook their head, and I started getting scared. "Mike?" The person shook their head again. I decided the best course of option was to go back to bed so I wouldn't have to walk past this person. Girl, you don't just ignore a stranger sitting in your house, you scream. I climbed in bed and closed my eyes for a second before opening them and seeing the person standing in my doorway, smiling madly and nodding furiously. Dude, that's so creepy. Oh my god, you're gonna die! I screamed at the top of my lungs and closed my eyes. My stepdad came running out of his room in his underwear with a baseball bat. That was a scary sight in itself. Yes, your half-naked father. There was nothing there but clothes my mom had folded and put on the chair were strewn about the living room. For the longest time, I told myself it was my cat, sitting on the clothes. No, you just had a nightmare. There was a demon. I mean, we've all had that moment, all that dirty clothes piled up in a chair that we don't want to fold. In the middle of the night, it looks like a serial killer. And that is exactly why we are telling some scary stories that are true. These people have lived through actual horror movies. It's about to get interesting and spooky. So yeah, subscribe, check me out on Instagram, check out channel memberships, links are down below. Comment, like, share the video, and let's go. I'm a journalist and was told this doozy by a woman I interviewed for a true crime story. No one says doozy anymore. When this woman was a young girl, say 8 years old, she started to come down the stairs at night to tell her father that there was a man in her closet. He tells her there's no such thing as the boogeyman and sends her back to bed. This happens on and off for like a week. Finally, he gets frustrated and walks her back to her room and says, "I'll show you there's nothing in your closet," and goes to open the door. It opens an inch and then he feels someone slam it shut. Turns out there really was a man in her closet, and you didn't listen to her. This guy was a perv who would sneak into the house every night to watch this little girl sleep. The dad kicked the crap out of him and the perv went to prison for many years. I researched her story 20 years after this happened. The guy had just gotten out of jail again and no one could find him. Dude, he's out there. Honestly, if my kid came up to me and said, "Mommy, there's a scary boogeyman in my closet," I'd be like, yeah, there probably is. Night. Sweet dreams. So long. Hope I see you in the morning. Every man for himself in my house. I would not be a good mother. I was 11 and home alone when the doorbell rang. It was a mailman who told me that we had gotten a package, but it was big, so he needed help carrying it. I asked where his truck was, and he said it was around the corner. Okay, if you had this heavy package, why would you park all the way around the corner? He kept telling me to open the door, but I said I wasn't allowed to leave the house and that we would pick up the box from the post office. Smart girl. He was telling me how much of a hassle that would be for my mom. I told him that I'd come outside, but I had to get my shoes. I closed the door, locked it, and then ran and called my neighbor and yelled that she had to come over ASAP. Then I stood at the locked front door and stared at him. He yelled at me, asking if I found my shoes, and I said that I called my neighbor to help carry it. He turned and ran. Yeah, stranger danger, guys. If you're home alone and your parents say don't answer the door for nobody, don't answer it. Because a grown man would not park all the way around the corner when there's a super heavy package that he would have to carry all that way, and he would not ask a little girl who can't carry 10 pounds to help him carry it. It makes no sense. So just, guys, common sense. Don't talk to strangers. Don't open the door for nobody but your parents. They know what they're talking about. One night, this girl was walking around the city when she started to suspect she was being followed. Okay, that happens to me all the time. I'm super paranoid. I think everyone's out to get me. She went into a hotel lobby to try and shake the guy off. She told the staff what was happening and they insisted on calling the police. The police finally find him and take him in for questioning. Then they check the surveillance footage to see if he was actually following her. He was, and they arrest him. The next day, they get a positive DNA match for a number of crimes around the city. Turns out he was a murderer around Leeds who has killed 3 people in the last 3 weeks. Dude, she was gonna be his next victim. For real, if you feel like someone's following you and you're all alone, especially at night, even during the day, go somewhere where there's a lot of people. Go into the nearest Starbucks and tell someone what's going on. They will call the police and make sure you're safe. My friend and I were driving around the country. Ooh, that's fun. We were in the middle of nowhere and only cow fields were in sight. Up ahead, the tree line on the left started thinning out as we could easily see another road that ran perpendicular into ours. I think that means like they're going this way and then that road went this way. I think. I didn't pay attention in geometry. A white truck was suddenly visible. As soon as the truck came into view, a pistol's gunfire shot out of the driver's side, aimed into the ditch. The truck was far away enough that I couldn't tell if he was shooting at anything, but no matter because his reverse lights came on to intercept us. I floored it. The truck flew in reverse up his road onto ours and began shooting at us. Bullets were flying all through the trees. We broke every single traffic law in the hour and a half it took to get back home. Y'all just witnessed a murder. Seriously, out in the country, I guarantee there are murders happening every day. And no one's there to see it. For real though, if you ever witness a crime of any kind, act like you saw nothing. Get away and then call the cops. I was in a gift shop when I was around 13 and my family had gone to the bathroom. All of a sudden, I heard this noise behind me. It was this old guy who I swear looked exactly like Charles Manson. Swastika forehead, tattoos, crazy eyes, long scraggly hair and beard, etc. He was looking right at me, playing with this noisemaker thing for sale. He walked over to me and said, "Would you like anything? I'll buy you whatever you want as long as you come with me." I smiled nervously and walked away. But he followed me and told me he'd like to take me home. I walked away, the guy was about to follow me, but then he saw my mom come out of the bathroom and bolted. To this day, I never told my parents. Why? First of all, don't go with him. If someone tells you that, you run. Go to your parents, go to somebody, but do not go with a stranger offering you things. Or I would just be like, "Yeah, old man, you got an Xbox? You got money?" "No, I didn't think so. Back off." It's kind of a free ticket to ask for whatever you want. See if he'll give it to you first, and then grab it and run. I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. Making a joke. If that happens to you, don't take whatever he's offering. Don't go with him. Run. Driving to pick up a friend who was at this cabin party about 40 miles west of where I lived. It was close to 2 a.m. So I'm driving down this back road to find this random cabin somewhere, and I came across this red 4-door sedan with all the doors open and 4 limp figures in the seats with their heads slumped over. So you came across a random car on the side of the road with all the doors open and 4 people just... Ugh. That alone kind of freaked me out. Later on, I'm driving by again after a failed attempt at picking up my friend. Mind you, it's getting close to 3 in the morning. Okay, you are a very dedicated friend if you're wandering around for that long. I do not have that kind of patience. I'm not a very good friend in general. So, he's coming around again around 3 in the morning, and only the front seat passenger door was open, and every person in that car was staring with a blank, dead stare directly at me as I drove past them at 10 miles per hour. Very creepy. Yeah, they're, zombies. Get out of there. They got your friend. He's gone. Every man for himself. I was driving a shortcut in the desolate high desert east of LA. I am driving north through a canyon with high grass on both sides of the road. So, road, middle of the desert, nobody around, just grass. Up ahead, I see some stuff in the middle of the road. As I approach, I slow down to see a car stop sideways across both lanes. So it's blocking the road. And 2 bodies laying face down in the road. Dude! I stop 100 feet away and the hair on the back of my neck stands up. Something seemed very wrong. It looked too perfect as if it were staged. I decided to just go around it and keep going. Okay, yeah, he kinda sounds like a jerk, but you gotta trust your gut feeling sometimes. If something don't feel right, then just don't do it. I continued forward a couple 100 feet and slowed down so I could breathe. As I looked up into the rearview mirror, I saw that the 2 bodies had gotten up to their knees, and 20 or so people emerged from the tall grass. I got the heck out of there. See, this dude knew something wasn't right, and he bolted. Seriously, good life tip, trust your gut, stay safe. And that's it for some scary stories that are very true. And these people are very lucky to be alive. Please take this video and all of this advice I gave you and stay safe. Again, don't forget to subscribe, follow me on Instagram, check out channel memberships, links are all down below. And give this video a like and a share. But yeah, that's it. That was very interesting. I will see you creepy people next time.